Good morning. Yeah, so I think this is an old construction act, which we want everybody to wake up. Okay, so good morning. Great. Okay, welcome to this inaugural session of ISARC. I think most of you here are been a part of ISARC for many years. For those of you who have not been, the International Symposium on Automation and Robotics in Construction. So we are here. This is the 40th ISARC. I think few of us have been in more than 30 ISARCs. A few of our colleagues have joined like in the last 10 years. I always, enjoy this get together with all of our community and those of us who have been working in automation and robotics for since the 80s. I particularly point out to Professor Skibniewski, who's been there from the first ISARC, and I think many of the young students who are here for their first ISARC. So I think this is a family that's been growing, and we are very, very happy to bring this conference to India to host it. I think Professor Benny, my colleague, has been part of ISARC for more than 10 years now, and he's chairing this. So we are really, really happy to bring it to our institute and IIT Madras to host this event. Now, I think just a bit, this is the first time that we have had ISARC running for a week. Those of you who are here for the symposium, we had a workshop day on Monday, an industry day yesterday, and now we go into the symposium day. So this was designed so that automation and robotics in the Indian context is covered. Workshop day was students. So we were trying to kind of get the education setup going. The industry day was mostly industry representatives, and we had a lot of discussions yesterday. Today would be the academic symposium onward. So we hope we have covered bases. We are hoping that we make an opportunity to drive this kind of research in our country. And this has been a really, really good opportunity to do it. We have a lot to talk about construction management, the automation research, but I'm going to kind of stop here. For this inaugural session, we are a bit delayed, but for those of you who are worried about time, it's a design delay. Okay, we will catch up during the lunchtime. We have a large lunch break, so we will catch up during the lunch break. So when we start the parallel sessions in the afternoon, it will be on time. So with that, let me call upon the dignitaries to the stage. Professor Benny. Professor Ho Kwon, who is the president of IARC from Yonsei University. Director of IIT Madras, Professor Kamakoti. And Mr. M.V. Satish from Larsen & Toubro. M.V. Satish, I think we were just discussing with, in the L&T culture, everyone goes with acronyms. So we normally call him MVS. So if I use the term MVS, it is M.V. Satish, and he's a whole-time director and senior executive vice president at L&T. So welcome. We have a lot of traditions in India, and one of the traditions is to sing an invocation song. So basically, the invocation is blessings on the program as well as for the nation. So we request everyone to stand, and I call the invocation singers.
ீராரும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கிழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் தென்னமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறைநுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறமையந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்ந்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் சுஜலா சுஃபலா மலயஜ சீதலா சஸ்யஷாமளா மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் शुभ्रजोत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी फुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्.
We have another tradition, which is the lighting of the lamp. So I request all of us to join in lighting the lamp. And this is also a sign of knowledge. I now request Professor Benny to give us all an introduction to ISARC 2023.
Good morning, respected chief guest, MV Sadish, director, who is the patron of this conference, Professor Kim Yong-Kwan, president of IARC, and all the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, all the delegates, colleagues, friends. This is the only second time we are hosting this ISARC in India. The previous one was in 2007. It was at Kochi, and Professor Koshi was the chair of the conference that time. After that, it went round the globe and it has come back to India. So it's a very proud occasion for all of us. And this is the inauguration of the 40th ISARC. It has a long history. So we have cakes here. We are going to cut the cake to celebrate the 40th anniversary. And the way we have organized this, we wanted more involvement from the industry and especially from the local, from the region, from the academia, and so on. So we planned a series of events. So this is actually the third day. Yesterday, we had a very high profile industry day. We had about 200 participants, and there were a lot of exciting discussions. So we heard a lot of arguments and counter arguments about the role of automation in the construction industry. We discussed about the productivity of the construction industry, all the issues we are facing in the construction industry, but the conclusions are the same, what we always knew. First of all, construction industry has the lowest productivity among all the industries. We compare with manufacturing, agriculture, and all the automobile, pharmaceuticals. Construction industry has the lowest productivity. And it is one of the most dangerous industries in terms of the accidents, occupation health. Today, our workers are not able to go beyond 35 or 40 years because their health is affected by the kind of work they do in the construction industry. And we have a serious problem in keeping pace with the demand. We need rapid development of housing and infrastructure, but the way we do construction today, we are not able to keep pace with the demand because it is heavily dependent on labor, manual labor. And our students, our brightest students don't want to come to the construction industry because they don't think it is a high-tech industry. It's not paid well. And why it is not paid well? Because the profit margins are very low. And the profit margins are low because there are a lot of inefficiencies in the construction. So there are studies which have shown that 40% of money spent on construction is just wasted. So if you can imagine, if you can save a little bit of that money that is wasted, the profit margins will increase and we will be able to attract more brighter students to the construction industry. So this conference will talk about one solution to all these problems, that is automation. We need to introduce automation in the construction industry. We need to modernize the construction industry. We need to make the industry more competitive, more attractive. So this is a push towards awareness of the role of construction, role of automation in the construction industry. So today, I think the industry is very well aware of all the issues, and the industry is keenly looking at what solutions come from academia. So during the last 2 days, there had been a lot of discussions. I think in India, there is much greater awareness of the role of automation today because we have conducted a lot of workshops on construction automation. I'm the vice president in charge of, vice president of ISARC in charge of workshops and summer schools. During the last 4 years, I conducted about 12 workshops, which were well attended. There was one workshop where we had more than 1,000 registered participants. So today, if you go to any engineering college in India, I'm sure they know about IR, the International Association for Automation and Robotics in Construction. They know about the work we are doing in the area of construction automation, our work on 3D printing, building information modeling, applications of machine learning and artificial intelligence. All these have received much high publicity, and a lot of people are already aware of all this. This conference is another push to the awareness of these technologies. And I hope, I'm very happy that the industry has eagerly participated in all these programs. And I hope you'll have a great day ahead, the great 2 days ahead. And I hope you will be able to take back something and improve the adoption of automation in the construction industry. So I welcome all of you and wish you a great time ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Benny. I now request Professor Kim, who is the president of ISARC and a professor at Yonsei University, Korea, to give us an introduction to ISARC.
Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and dear friend, I'm Hyungwan Kim, serving as the president of ISARC, International Association for Automation and Robotics in Construction. On behalf of ISARC, I'm honored and privileged to welcome you all to the 40th ISARC, International Symposium on Automation and Robotics in Construction. Allow me to walk you down the memory lane of ISARC, which commenced in 1984 in Pittsburgh with attendees from just 3 nations. One esteemed member of our society attended the first ISARC, and he's attending this ISARC right here, right at this moment. Would you please join me to welcome Dr. Mirek Skibniewski with a big round of applause. Thank you so much for still being with us. Over time, ISARC evolved into a premier platform for the exchange of information and collaboration among delegates from across the globe. I'm particularly elated to recall the successful ISARC, which was held in Kochi, India in 2007, which further established our global and premier status. I was then a young researcher, not that experienced, but I was fortunate enough to be invited by the Larsen & Toubro to this very city of Chennai to share my vision as to how construction automation should be done. I was very impressed by their willingness to learn from young researchers like me. I'm still young, but I was younger at the time. As we embark on the 40th annual conference, I must extend my deepest gratitude to the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, for hosting ISARC 2023. Many thanks go to Professor Benny Rafael and Koshi Vargas. They are the chairs of the local organizing committee. Their impeccable organization and dedication to excellence have made this perfect setting for us to exchange innovative ideas and collaborate. This year's event promised to be an exciting fusion of many things, including technical sessions, industrial sessions, and networking opportunities, enriched by the historic and culturally vibrant backdrop of Chennai. A range of issues will be discussed to address the ever more complex agenda of IR, including climate change, energy, and safe society. So I urge you to immerse yourself in the wealth of knowledge that will be presented over the coming days to forge new partnership and to contribute your unique perspectives to this dynamic and evolving field. Once again, welcome to ISARC 2023. May this conference be the source of inspiration, innovation, and collaboration for all. Thank you.
So we also take this opportunity. I think you can see there's a cake here, and this is ISARC's 40th birthday. So Professor Kim, Professor Benny, Professor Kama, Mr. Satish, I would ask you to come and cut the cake along with our former presidents, Professor Skibniewski and Professor Bosche. So please come to stage, and it's a symbolic cake, but I think we thought it would be appropriate for the 40th birthday to have this. The real cake is outside. We are not allowed to bring eatables into this hall. Okay, so that was the constraint why we had to do the symbolic cake cutting, but there is a real cake by Taj, which is a part of your high tea part. Great. I have the privilege of inviting our director, Professor Kamakoti, to give a talk. Just a little bit of brief on Kama. I'm not going to be too long. If I started out, it would be very, very long. Professor Kamakoti is a professor in computer science and now the director of IIT Madras. He's been my colleague ever since he joined IIT Madras because I was here before him. But before that, we have known each other for a long time. And if you look up the web and everything, you will see that one of his key contributions to the nation has been indigenous microprocessor called Shakti. That's what is written about it most of the time. But personally, I know that he's done a lot more. I think just to keep it brief, if there's anything in computer science which any agency in India has wanted, I think Professor Kamakoti has been at the middle of it, whether it's security, whether it's networks, whether it's computation, anything at all from the public side of India for the good of the Indian system. I think Professor Kama has been at the middle of it. I will keep it at that, Kama, because there's a lot more to say. We look forward to your address. He's also the patron of this conference, and he's been supporting Benny and me just throughout, at every step of the way. Thank you, Kama, and all the best.
Thank you, Koshi, and a very, very hearty welcome to IIT Madras campus. As a director, I'm extremely pleased that ISARC has come back after a decade now, more than a decade now. We are very happy to host it. And as you know, from the Indian perspective, as a country, our infrastructure is going at developing at an exponential rate. And three important aspects come. One is speed, another is accuracy, and the third one is safety. I think in all these three grounds, there's a lot more that we are expecting in the area of construction. And that is where the role of technology, specifically Industry 4.0, and the latest communication technologies like 5G, and more importantly, the role of sensors, the role of many other data acquisition systems would play a very important role in making our construction much more reliable, much more faster, and much more safer for the people who are working in this area. As a country, we have slowly moved when we see, normally when we take a large construction, typically in an institution like IITs, the director X lays the foundation stone, X+1 continues the project, X+2 cuts the ribbon, right? So that day should go off. And now to just change this trend, we are now trying to work with L&T to see a 2,000-seater hostel in 64 days. That's what SNS claims. So at least 6 months we'll finish it off, right? Something like that. So this is something very exciting. And over a period of time, we have also been nurturing a lot of startups. Twesta is a startup which has been incubated by IIT Madras, and we are seeing more and more of 3D printing and more use of more sustainable materials, etc. That is becoming part and parcel of our entire construction technologies that we are employing and we would like to employ in the future. We are also getting some very exciting things in India. To just tell you, we will be constructing a university at 4,000 meters altitude, where we are looking at a completely net zero carbon zone. And we are looking at a lean construction there, carbon sensitive constructions. And also in a place where we have access only for 3 to 4 months. And we would like to have multiple buildings constructed very quickly. We are building a university there, and there are many climatic issues that also come in place there. So these type of very exciting projects are coming up, where we are looking at more of an automation to basically guide us through these constructions in a quick speed, accuracy, and ensuring safety, both for the construction laborers and also further the stability of the building, etc. So as I look at from a computer science perspective, I see that the three important trends that are coming up. And I'm sure as I looked at the posters, there is a sufficient representation for these three trends. One is on digital twins and which is coming out of big data. Now, as the construction management now becomes more and more technology sensitive or technology intervention, increasing intervention of technology, we now see a lot more data flowing in, and those data is going to basically help us construct digital twins of buildings, which we can analyze, do many things before we actually go planning of the construction, and do a lot more of what if analysis before we actually start the construction. And that is something which is exciting. And a lot more of deep learning because which is coming up in a very big way. So IIT Madras has introduced AI for industrial technologies, and we have that going on. And I think there is a very big intervention of AI that's going to come up, specifically in predicting failures, predicting moisture, predicting many things in the construction. And the last one is a very big intervention of Internet of Things and machine learning in energy management of buildings. And that is also becoming extremely important, because every nation here, there are many representatives from many nations participating in this conference, and you will all vouch for this, that we have a commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, and that too within a given time period. And I think that is also a big driving factor here, that we have to use Internet of Things and a lot more of edge intelligence to manage energy, and that will play a very important role in meeting the Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations. In this context, I see a 7-dimensional approach to what we may broadly term as building information modeling, which is very close to heart for a computer scientist. So one is, of course, you have these detailed design, etc. The third dimension, the 2 dimensions come from that, but the third dimension actually comes from a lot of parametric data and analysis that you perform. Just because now data is available, data can be sensed, we can put sensors, and we can start learning from previous experiences. Like, if you look at a company like L&T, they would have done some end projects on the same domain, like building a road or building a bridge. And I think a lot of data that comes out can be put into these type of very sophisticated parametric data and analysis that we can take up. The 4th dimension comes in construction scheduling. I think that's extremely important, especially for the project that I just mentioned about 4,000 meters above sea level. We really have to look at the scheduling aspect of how do we bring material, where do we put, how do we construct, how do we assemble, etc. And then the most important thing today, as a director I'm facing on a day-to-day basis, is this cost estimation. Always we go with that deviation. We project some cost X, and the government of India allows it up to 20%. But normally, typically, we exceed by 20% because it is 20% fixed. I think that is one accurate cost estimation becomes extremely important. And the 6th dimension is, of course, the sustainability and life cycle costing. And this is also becoming very crucial, because today we want to invest on prefab and other things, but we would like to know how sustainable it is and what would be the lifetime for it and what is be the maintenance cost for it. And I think that is also something that we can come up. And last, the 7th dimension is, of course, the facility management. And all these things are really integral part of the system. And I now look at this as a compute stack for construction. And everywhere there could be a large amount of data. There's a big data that's coming up. There could be AI and other ML type of interventions for any predictions that we would like to do at each one of this level. And of course, a very big organizational memory can be built upon this data. I think we have exciting time ahead. And as a country, I'm sure that we will have exciting projects that will test. Always, I believe that if you solve a problem in India, we solve the problem for the whole world, because we have so many diversities and so many things that we can, that will be put up as a challenge here. And if we meet those challenges, we will have some products ready for the entire globe. With this very exciting days ahead, I wish this ISARC a very good success. And I hope that we will strike many more interesting projects between the academic institutions. And of course, this whole thing will not see the light of the day without industry participation. So we would love to have more and more startups, specifically in the area of automation and robotics for construction, and also the large industries participating with very concrete projects, which they can encourage the startups and encourage more research in this direction. I think we have all the touch points. We have a lot more to do. And I think this is a very important juncture where when ISARC has come to India, to Chennai, to IIT Madras campus. With this, again, I welcome and I wish this conference a great success. Thank you very much.